Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Loki's latest episode left us with so many questions about who is truly pulling the Timekeeper's strings, where Loki is now, and whether or not it's been Loki Gator all along. With only 2 episodes left, there are only so many ways the remaining not yet shown in episodes footage from the trailers and promos could go, so I'm gonna break down everything Marvel has teased but has yet to be seen in an episode to try to decode Loki's endgame. First, there's this imagery of President Loki.
Come on, what did you expect?
President Loki is a nod to the 2016 Vote Loki series in which Loki runs for president on the platform that he's not afraid to lie to voters. Now here he's surrounded by this ragtag group dressed in a license plate suit, a helmet with silverware sticking out, a helmet with a bike handlebar, another helmet to the far right with a huge tree growing out of it. But over to the left side is a Polybius game. This is the urban legend from the Portland area of an arcade game that government agents might have rigged with mind control algorithms, but Polybius probably didn't even exist. Or maybe it did. But another yet to be seen shot in the same location shows these warriors fighting with a new Loki variant we just met in episode 4, Boastful Loki, who carries a makeshift Mjolnir made from a piston shaft and a piece of train rail. Behind them is a throne with an L over it, probably for Loki, but perhaps also, ironically, L for loser, since Sylvie was concerned Lokis are destined to lose, but these Lokis are at least all rejects. So I think we can expect to see this in episode 5, with our Loki joining these other variants in this mystery exile that includes some pieces of New York to mix it up with this eccentric Loki gang. But is this exile a timeline and history or a branch history? Or is it some closed off pocket reality limbo where time doesn't exist? And is it populated with Loki variants only or everyone who has been pruned, including Mobius and C20? Well, if you look at the other footage, this exile starts to look more like a pocket reality with all kinds of interesting historical artifacts beyond the Polybius arcade game. But before we continue, thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. If your to-do list today doesn't include defeating the clan boss or ascending a doom tower, you gotta rearrange your priorities. You gotta use the links below to download Raid to your mobile phone or PC. Raid has hundreds of champions, but here's a little list of the top 4 scariest looking ones in my opinion. You got Little Miss Annie, evil dolls, always scary. Candrafin, he looks more like an evil Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. Urost Soul Cage, his head is just too small for the body. And Mashaled, he's like a big hairless man bat, and it's super creepy. But what I really like about this game is the character design. The artists at Raid are famous for their attention to detail and incredible design. All the characters I mentioned have cool attack graphics to go along with their character design. Now Raid's got a non-stop schedule of summer events and activities with special fusion events, tournaments against other players, and much more. They're also releasing 5 amazing new champions. And Raid summer plans are just starting to heat up, and there are some giant updates coming very, very soon, so there's never really been a better time to get started. And if you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description and you'll get an epic hero Chonoru, who's amazing in the Doom Tower, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 ancient shard so that you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in game. And all of this treasure will be waiting for you right up here. And once you're in, you can find me in game under the name New Rock 2020, and if you're fast, you can join my clan. And it's that easy. Just click the link in the description and I'll see you in the game. The USS Eldridge vessel drops in. That was a World War II era ship, part of a debunked Philadelphia experiment conspiracy theory in which it was claimed to have been cloaked with an invisibility shield. But here, notice as it falls, it rematerializes from the same bright multicolored glow that envelops people and objects as they are pruned. This could tell us that a number of historical curiosities, kind of like how Loki was revealed as the mystery hijacker D.B. Cooper, all these other things could derive their mystery around having been part of a branch history pruned by the TVA. Because also in this region is another shipwreck, but appears to be a much older wooden vessel with 3 masts, some torn sails, and some lifeboats on the deck. This could be the wreckage of the Santa Maria, Christopher Columbus's flagship that sank upon hitting a coral reef near present-day Haiti, but was never found. But behind that, I could be wrong here, but that kind of looks like a typical flying saucer, does it not? Like the MCU has a variety of extraterrestrials with different looking spacecraft, but this could be one typical flying saucer that was spotted by humans, but then pruned into this pocket reality. But behind both of these, in the the sky on the left appears to be some portal made of that same multicolored glow as the pruning. This could be the access point, like those portals that dump trash on the Sakaar landfills. With other footage of Loki and Sylvie running across this terrain, and Loki pointing a supercharged sword at the sky, could be them trying to break out of this exile. But this exile might not be exclusive to Loki variants, because in other footage of this cloudy skied, grassy landscape, Mobius drives past the Great Sphinx and the Pyramids of Giza, and then off to the right, some other structure that I don't believe is located near Giza, perhaps some other ancient ruins, like what the original intent of Stonehenge was. Now, I have pointed out in other videos how in the domed kingdom of Chronopolis, Marvel time villain Kang the Conqueror collects historical trophies that do include the pyramids and the Sphinx from his time as Pharaoh Rama-Tut. But there's also footage of Mobius re-entering Renslayer's office armed with a charged pruning stick and his tie is tugged askew. I don't think we've seen this yet, so I think this guy's gonna make it out of exile back into the TVA. Similarly, there's a shot of Loki with his sleeve sliced and bloody, which he got in that fight at the end of episode 4, now in the TVA bullpen with a multi-handed clock hanging down, so we can expect he too will return to the TVA. But I'll say what makes it tough to determine the exact narrative of this footage is that we also see various shots of Loki seemingly at the top of his game. First, there's a shot from the first Loki teaser.
Glorious.
Yeah, the mirror and the scepter tell us that Loki is back in Tony Stark's penthouse at the top of Stark Tower in the first Avengers film, so we may see a flashback or a redo of those moments. Also, there's a King Loki in front of the throne of Asgard, but it's been redesigned from the version Odin sat upon with his ravens. Here, there are green flags showing Loki's heraldry, and he's being applauded by Asgardian nobles, which might include Thor and Loki comics writer Walt Simonson on the right there. He cameoed as an Asgardian in the first Thor film. I wonder if these could be flashbacks of other Loki variants that our Loki meets in this exile, each of them telling the tale how they were plucked from their glorious ascendancies and then pruned into this limbo. But one major set piece features Loki in this indigo-colored castle that's streaked with golden cracks. Sylvie will actually join him in this setting because we see her doing some moves in a library with a roaring fireplace beside a few handles or levers. I am guessing this could be the residence of whoever is controlling the Timekeepers, our man behind the curtain, be it He Who Remains, or Kang, or another Loki, or some alternate form of Miss Minutes. But where is this? We might get a huge clue by looking at what I see as the most cryptic shots of all the remaining footage. First, some cosmic shots of our solar system, then our galaxy, and beyond it, some floating satellites, and then some trippy Stargate footage, and then this jagged rock, ring, or donut floating in space with a shimmering beam behind it. But now, in the latest rendered version of this shot, there's a tiny detail that wasn't visible the first time we saw this shot May 5th. On top of that rock ring, there is a tiny glowing structure, almost like a lighthouse or a lookout station. This could be where the whole TVA is located, or it could be a station at the end of all time, the last piece of livable terrain left in the universe, from which the one pulling the levers of the TVA operates. Let me know your theories for the final 2 episodes, and you can support New Rockstars by checking out our merch options, including this Loki-inspired shirt, Loki Out of Time, at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow and subscribe to New Rockstars. Thanks for watching. Bye.